So UNCTAD, what does it mean? It is United Nations Conference. So this can be regarded as one of the UN's leading institution dealing with trade and development. Okay, and it serves many functions like it facilitates access building, then also grant technical support to the developing countries, and they use trade, and then the investment, financial, and technological support to the nations. Okay, for the inclusive and for the sustainable development of the nation. So that is the main function of this UNC tag. Okay. Then coming to the next point, that is, it consists of how many states? 195 states are the members. Then it is established in 1964 as a permanent intergovernmental body of UNO Assembly, United Nations Organizations Assembly. So what do you mean by intergovernmental? That is many. Yes. Yeah. It's like many governments, including a country. So it is a kind of intergovernmental organization. And it's also a body of UN Assembly. So dealing with development issues, particularly international trade, the main driver of development. And UN Secretary is Geneva, headed by Isabella Duret from Belgium. Okay. Then it means every once in 4 years and aim to have informed decisions. Sorry, it's not coming. Yeah, it means every once in 4 years and aim to help take informed decisions and promote macroeconomic policies best sustainable to ending global economic inequalities. So it promotes what? Macroeconomic policies. What do you mean by macroeconomic policies? Macroeconomic. Macroeconomic policy is somewhat which is related to, which is operated. This economy as a whole, like we speak about the national income, money supply, then growth rate, inflation, and all that. So the policy dealing with it. So it enhances or it helps macroeconomic policies suitable to ending global economic inequalities. Thus, by eradicating any kind of inequalities which is prevailing in the country with regard to economy. Okay. Then that is globalization and development. Almost every institution and every organization of the UN serve the same function, like what? Development and all. So it deals with globalization and development, then provide technical assistance for the management of public debt. So it provides technical assistance. So how it provides technical assistance in public debt? Any idea? Technical assistance with regard to public debt. What does it mean? So it means that if any who are members of this particular organization, the authority of the concerned organization went to that particular member state and they will advise the state government, the concerned state government, or the bank officials, and they will give what? Technical support. Like they will provide technical expert support for them. Like if they like resident experts, they can have the highest knowledge about a particular subject. So they will give that support for a longer period or for a shorter period. Okay, so this kind of technical assistance has been given in public debts. Then promote integrated approach to trade, environment, and sustainable development. So what is sustainable development? Anything which has been in present, they have been meted, okay, without causing any damage to the future generation. So that development has been attained through this organization or through this process. That's another function. Then forward the contribution of commodity sector development, then advocating diversification and risk management. Okay, so it has diversification too. Like for example, if a company is having or selling clothes, they might expand their business to like they can expand their business into selling what the home goods or accessories and like that. So diversification is also being encouraged under the system. Okay. The next is inform policymakers about the structure and evolution of FDI in the world. So, what is the main function of this FDI in this present scenario? Okay, for yes, foreign direct investment. So that is the policymakers about the structure and evolution of FDI in the world. What is the structure? Okay. Then participating in setting international accounting standards and powerful issue related to international investment agreement. So these are the main functions with regard to UNC DAC. Then coming to the next one, that is WTO. What is that? World Trade Organization. So it is also, we can say that one of the intergovernmental institution or intergovernmental organization. And what does it do? It facilitates or encourages the producers and exporters and importers also. And the main function of this institute is to reduce tariff and also other risks or barriers which is related to trade. Okay. Yeah, its headquarters is also at Geneva, and the organization is a global organization which deals with the rules of trade between nations. So it consists of certain provisions that is related to what trade. It contains some sort of provisions with which the trading has to be done, or the types of with which the trading must be done. It made up of 164 member countries, and WTO was created in 1995. It replaced the 1947 General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, that is GATT. Then it is an organized organization for trade opening, and it is a forum for governments to settle trade agreements. Okay, if they come across with any kind of trade disputes and all, so it is the platform or it is the area from where the dispute can be resolved. The law is a place for governments to negotiate trade agreement. So if there is any trade agreement between the nations, then it is a place where they can negotiate the same. Okay, if there is any contradiction between the nations with regard to any agreement and all, they can negotiate the same under this agreement. Okay, under this place. It operates a system of trade rules, and WTO places where member governments try to sort out the trade problems they face with each other. So the main area behind or the main concept behind this WTO is to do what? To eradicate the dispute or any kind of problem which will come across when doing the trade and all. Then how it functions? What are the main functions of WTO? So decisions made by consent, then so a majority vote may as told, but this is a very rare case and based in Geneva holds meeting at least 2 years and may stop decisions and all. Then Council, Service Council, and IPR Council, which all report to a General Council, in addition to many working groups and committees. So WTO is there. So under this WTO, we can see that various committees or councils are there. Okay, so the different area or the different councils decides the various aspects related to trading. And if anything come across with that particular area, the matter will be discussed and what sorted out in that specified council. Or if a new matter will come, then they will have or they will form suggestions regarding to it. So for that, this WTO has this following council, like good council is there, service council matter related to service will be discussed under the Service Council and IPR Council. If any matter related to intellectual property right is there, it will be decided under that is IPR Council and which all report with the Council. And we have done there, so all reports have been sent to the General Council as well. Okay, so that particular council will discuss the matters related to that particular area, and the same report is being sent to the General Council as well. In addition to many working groups and committees. So whatever happens or what decisions have been made under this council is being sent to that General Committee. Okay. Then comes WTO agreement. So we discussed about what is WTO, and next is WTO agreement. So we have certain kind of agreement under the WTO. So we can divide it into these areas like TRIPS, GATT, TRIPS, and AOA. Okay. So what does it all mean? So TRIPS, it is for trade-related intellectual property rights. So you have learned idea and law. So then you have learned that copyright act, then patent, then geographical indication is there, plant variety is there, design is there. So semiconductor design layout is there. So everything which comes under, if all these things comes under, which is related to something trade, then it will be discussed under this area, that is trade. That is trade related intellectual property right. Protection to patent, then trademark, layout, design, copyright, and other intellectual properties. Like if there is any particular design or technology is there, if it has been transferred or the transaction of the same has been done, and in that case, what rule has to be followed if it has been done through trade? So what will be the regulations or what will be the rules which has to be adopted while we transact any kind of IPR? That is intellectual property, that is the creativity of any person. If a person has created any kind of product or like that, and the same thing has been trading, okay, so at that case, what will be the rule? The state has to follow by transferring the IP, okay, intellectual property. Then sensitive investment measures, and it is to treat foreign investment as part of domestic measures and provide boost to FDI. So the main purpose of this stream is that to promote or to boost for FDI, that is foreign direct investment. Then comes the GATT, is the agreement on trade and service. Service sector has to be liberalized or open up. So the main concept or the main motive behind GATT is to do what? To liberalize the service sector. So we know that in an economy there is three-tier system is there, and the service sector is one of the third tier of the economy system. Okay, so here the service sector which includes like we are providing services like nursing, then we do the kind of teaching is there. So here we discuss about what the services which have been provided along with the products. Okay. So if the services have been given by a particular nation to that any other particular nation that might have been discussed here. And this emphasis on various measures to promote service sector has to be liberalized and open. So what the change says is that the service sector should have a liberal attitude, must follow a liberal approach, and it should open up. Open up means it should be available and it should be accessible. So the service sector must be in such a way that it must be easily available and it must be accessible. So that is the main thing which is discussed in what GATT. Then coming to AOA, that is Agreement on Agriculture. It emphasizes on various measures to promote agricultural trade in the national market. So it promotes agricultural trade. So agricultural trade is obviously It is very important for a nation who is facing any kind of production shortage. So it will be very easy, or it will be, we can say that the main function or the main goal of this aid is to provide on end what hunger. Okay, and this also provides one of the it provides encouragement to the farmers and encouragement to the producers of goods and all. And here we can say that the European Union was first trader with regard to agricultural products. They were the first traders who done the agricultural trade and all. Okay. The next is trade defense instrument, that is TDI. So this trade defense instrument measures carried out by the WTO member states to defend their local industries against unfairly traded or subsidized imports. So you have heard about subsidy and all, right? Subsidy and all. So what is subsidized import? Yes, the government they have to pay something to that particular product and all. And what happens is that is the commodity will be available in a low price in the domestic market. So here what happens is that the subsidized import has been encouraged, or here it is unfairly traded or subsidized imports. So here effort has been made to reduce this kind of subsidized import, so that the thing will be come in a low price in the domestic market. So it is unfair. So in order to reduce, in order to eradicate such practices, this trade defense instrument having came into existence. Okay. Fight against unfairly trade or subsidized imports. The TDIs are adopted by member states to address unfair trade practices such as dumping of goods and subsidies by implementing safeguards to defend their local industries. So, have you ever heard about dumping and all? Dumping of goods. Have you ever heard? Yes. Dumping of goods is there. So, it is also activities. So, for example, if a country, like if you take for example, if you face producing or manufacturing bicycles or any that kind of thing, or not bikes and all, so they produce the same at the rate is like 10,000. Okay. And they are exporting the same thing to another country at the rate 6,000 or 8,000. Let me like 6,000. But India is producing the similar thing on a rate of what 8,000. So what happens is that the India will export their bicycles to India, and that will support the domestic market to cut down the what the value of the particular product which has been manufactured there. So it is not dumping. Okay, so the foreign country is exporting something to another country with a less value, but the same country has been producing the same product with higher value. Okay, so it is not dumping. So this instrument or this trade defense instrument is also a tool. It can be also treated as a tool to eradicate this type of unfair practices. You didn't get the point? No, it's a general okay, it's a general scenario is like dumping that's a dump waste and all. But in international it is something different. Dumping of goods means it doesn't like that you're dumping some goods in any area like abandoning it. It's something different. Okay. It's something different. So in international market, listen, in an international market, the concept is something different. Okay, yeah. Yes, the member states such as dumping of goods and companies by implementing safeguards to defend the industry. So these are the main function of this trade defense instrument. Anti-dumping. So anti-dumping measures usually in the form of a duty is applied to contracts The injurious effect of dump imports and risk of fair competition. So what is the anti-dumping measures? What does it mean? It fights against the dumping methods because it causes some kind of injurious effect to the market. So this anti-dumping treaties or anti-dumping mechanism will do what? They will stop this kind of unfair practices. Restore fair competition among the market. Then this measure is based on the dumping margin to consider a comparison between the export price and the normal value. So here we will compare between the normal value and the export price. That was we just analyzed to an example. Okay. So this is a comparison product. So they are named identical and compatible products. Identical products in the sense if they are same in length, then width and all. Yes. And in comparable products means it is somewhat identical, but the same in the case of like specification, then volume, then quality and all. Okay. So comparison, adjustment may be applied for differences, effective price comparability, such as differences in the terms and conditions of sale, the level of trade or physical characteristics. So, to ensure this comparison, what all things have been done? That is, adjustment may be applied for the differences affecting price comparability and differences in the terms and conditions of sale and level of physical characteristics. So all these things have been studied and all these things have been analyzed to do what? To do a comparison between what identical products and comparable products. Okay, in order to make a fair competition. The WTO anti-dumping agreement allows countries to take action against dumping. So here we have another thing that is under provision like anti-dumping agreement is there. So the main function of this agreement or the main concept behind this agreement is to do what? Is to allow countries to take action against dumping. If any country does this kind of activity, they shall be penalized or they shall be there will be yeah, for any kind of conversation or like that. So such agreements are there. Agreement requests member countries to inform the committee on anti-dumping practices about all preliminary and final dumping actions. So what it has to do is that in order to take action against such anti-dumping activities, the committee has to inform what this particular nation has done. First of all, when they done, and finally what they have done. So the entire process will be discussed, and the entire process will be finalized in order to get into a conclusion. So the entire process will be analyzed whether they had done the process that is called dumping or not, whether it will come under the purview of dumping or not. So situations have been analyzed, and finally they will come into the conclusion that yes, it belongs to what dumping. Then that particular nation or that particular action will come under the purview of dumping. Okay. Then subsidies we just discussed, and what is anti-subsidies is there. So an anti-subsidy measure of the countervailing measures. Countervailing measures is what in order to counter harmonize or to utilize. Usually duties apply to contract, including effect of subsidized imports and resource. What is fair competition? So in order to maintain fair competition, this unfair practices have been what has been eradicated, and also the injurious effect of the subsidized imports have been filed out, and after that this measures have been taken in order to maintain a fair competition among the market. So the subsidies and countervailing measures the SCM. SCM means what? Subsidies and countervailing measures. Agreement addresses issues such as what are the issues which have been discussed under this area? The provisions of subsidies. So they do what? They make some regulatory measures for the subsidies and use the following measures to offset injury caused by subsidized involving any kind of damage or any kind of loss has been happened due to subsidized involved. They will find out that injury and they will compensate for the same. So the measure has been taken and the provision has been discussed under this agreement. Then we use the WTO dispute settlement procedures to seek the withdrawal of the subsidy or the removal of the adverse event. So what things are there? We use the WTO dispute settlement area. So here again we have got in this area also we have another platform in order to settle down the dispute. Okay. If there happens any kind of dumping or any kind of unfair practices that is related to the comparison of products and all, if any such things happen, then it will come under this area. And this WTO dispute resolution mechanism is also there to resolve all these factors. So we have many measures and agreements related to anti-dumping and all, but still we have a mechanism under this WTO so that if any kind of such dispute or problem arises, it will be solved under this platform. This safeguard is there. To safeguard designed to give an industry that has significant increase in what inputs. These are the safeguard. Okay. What is the main function of the safeguard measures? What is the main function of the safeguard measures? What do you really mean by safeguard? What is safeguard? Safeguard measures. Yes, to protect. Yes, to take care of. Okay. So there is another provision under the international trade law, something called safeguard measures. Okay. And we have a particular provision related to safeguarding and all. So here we see that safeguard measures designed to give an industry time to anticipate significant increase in imports. Why do we need such increase of imports? Because we don't have the same thing available here. Or whether we are not getting the same thing cheaply in our domestic market. For that purpose, what we have to do, we have to import things. Okay, like technology, like raw materials and all. So that's the case when the import increases. Okay. So this is the main thing is to discuss what measures being adopted in such a case if the import increases. So import it increases also. Okay. So the measures have been taken in order to stop such kind of import. So may be introduced by the WTO member state with it when its local industry is negatively affected by an unforeseen sharp and sudden increase of inputs. So this sudden and sharp need of inputs happens. Like if we need something urgently and we don't have the same thing, or whether the same thing is available in a very cheap rate, then what we will do? We will import it. Okay. This shall be seen and measures have been taken to safeguard these things around if anything happens. Okay. So negatively if the market is negatively impacted by this kind of practices, the safeguard has been provided or given to protect that particular thing. The nation must be protected from such acts. So safeguard has been provided under the what WTO. Okay, safeguard measures are there under this WTO. So, safeguard is also an SG agreement. Then safeguard agreement is SG agreement. Set forth the rules for application of what safeguard measures. So safeguard measures are there in case something happens like this. The safeguard committee oversees the operation of the agreement and is responsible for the surveillance of members' commitment. So what the main function of the safeguard committee? They will supervise. Okay, they will supervise any particular activity if it will cause any kind of defect or any kind of negative impact by having such kind of any kind of import. So they will find out and they will provide suitable measures. So they can be regarded as. This WTO safeguard committee's role, main object is to supervise the state and to safeguard that particular nation from having any kind of laws. Truths are the right given to person over the intellectual creations. Okay, we already discussed under the WTO agreement. So, when it comes to one truth, strings, gas, and AOA. So, there we discussed those truths. So, we are right given to person over the intellectual creation. That is something which has been created through the mind. Okay. Creators and other producers of the intellectual commodity, they goods and services by granting them certain time limited rights to control the use. So while patent copyright and all things have been given, we have this certain kind of idea in India. So one of the main purposes is yes, protect the particular creation or what is the creation of a person. Okay, yeah. So it's something which is different from discovery and what you people have learned about what is invention and what is discovery and what. So where in which area the patent and copyright and trademark rights have been given a lot. So here we can see that it also protects the kinds of rights. Okay, the just safeguards what the intellectual property rights. Copyright, as you all know, patent, trademark, geographical indications, industrial design, integrated circuit layout design, undisclosed information, including trade secret and test data. So, if we speak about international trade law, there is something which comes under intellectual property within the ambit of this international trade is what this trade secret and what data. So these are also being protected under this what that is what intellectual property right. Yeah. So this is on by the WTO. So earlier there had been rounds of meetings and all 7, 8 and all. Yes. And now it has been negotiated under the members of the WTO under the conference and all. As the function says, it requires significant countries and domestic laws. What does it say? Okay, so it requires the countries whoever the party to this particular agreement, they have to do what? They have to enact certain domestic laws which related to that IPR. To protection of intellectual property rights. Then I shall ensure that measures and procedures to enforce IPR do not themselves become barrier to legitimate trade. Okay, so it does not create any kind of problem to the legitimate trade, or it does not create any kind of barrier to trade. So measures and procedures have been there, and members shall be free to determine the appropriate method of implementing the provisions of this agreement within their own legal system and practice. It is stated under what? It is stated under Article 1 of TRIPS agreement. Okay. So under Article 1 of TRIPS agreement, the provision is something which has been given. It's like the members shall be free to determine appropriate method which will be convenient, what will be convenient for them, what will be okay for them. They can adopt such measures and they can implement the same provisions or the same thing in their legal system and they can practice it. Okay. So here the domestic law has been taken into account. So the domestic law has been studied from by studying the various aspects of domestic law, they will do what they will actually implement the provision into the domestic law so that the IPR provision also comes under the domestic laws and the provisions can be taken in order to safeguard the IPR of the particular nation. So this is under Article 1. Each member shall accord to the national or other members frequent law less favorable than that it accords to its own nationals with regard to the protection of IPR. It says something which is not as equality. We will not disturb the IPR or the IP rights of other nations it should be treated as equal. So equality right has been also provided under the TRIPS agreement. Then what is Article 4.3? It says about most favored treatment. And something known as fair and justice treatment, which is a part of natural justice system. So what it says with regard to the protection of intellectual property, any advantage, favor, privilege, or immunity granted by a member to the nationals of any other country. So what does Article 4 say? It says about the favorable treatment among the member states who are party to this agreement, they should be treated fairly. Okay, yes. It has been mentioned here. The shall immediately and unconditionally to the nationals of what other members. Privilege has been given under this idea. The same shall be applicable to members who comes under this agreement of treaty. Okay, so that is what we stated. Then coming to the objectives part, what does it say? What are the objectives of this? The protection and enforcement of IPR should contribute to the promotion of technological innovation. So in IPR, we can see that the right has been given to certain kind of innovation. So the same thing comes under the TRIPS agreement too, like what promotion of technological innovation and to the transfer of dissemination of technology to the mutual advantages of producers and users of technological knowledge and in a manner conducive to social and economic welfare and to a balance of rights and obligations. So many objects have been given under this list. You can very well know, means you can go through it later. Then they shall not be unnecessarily complicated or costly or entirely unreasonable to limits or unwarranted delay. So it doesn't create it, not supposed to create any kind of delay and all. The procedures concerning the enforcement of intellectual property shall be fair and equitable. Then parties to a proceeding shall have an opportunity for review by judicial authority of final administrative decision. So here in TRIPS also, we can also see there is a platform for dispute redressal. So there is a redressal mechanism or we can say that has been provided under the TRIPS agreement. So if anything related to this IPR come into existence, any dispute come into existence, the same can be decided under the treaty or under this agreement. Then Doha Declaration is there. So that is in 2001 developing countries concerned that developed countries were insisting on an overly narrow reading on TRIPS. So initiated in the Doha Declaration.